In 2026, the average American carries debt the way previous generations carried groceries, everywhere, every day, and without thinking twice about the weight. A 34-year-old office worker in Dallas wakes up to 3 notifications before his feet touch the floor. One is from his bank, one is from his credit card, one is from a buy now, pay later app reminding him that the sneakers he forgot he financed are due tomorrow. He makes $78,000 a year, owns a decent car, rents a clean apartment, and looks fine from the outside. But every month, after rent, gas, food, insurance, subscriptions, and minimum payments, he has just enough money left to feel trapped. That is what debt does in America. It does not always make people look broke, it makes them feel owned. And that is why paying off debt changes everything. Not just your bank account, your behavior, your stress, your confidence, your options. Debt is not just a financial burden, it's a psychological tax. It quietly charges interest on your focus, your sleep, your relationships, and your future. Most people think debt is only about numbers. It is not. Debt changes how you think. When your money is already promised to lenders before your paycheck even arrives, your brain stops planning and starts surviving. You become reactive. You delay decisions. You tolerate jobs you hate. You avoid risk. You say no to opportunity because your monthly obligations already own too much of your future. That is why 2 people with the same salary can live completely different lives. One earns to build, the other earns to maintain, and the difference is usually debt. This is where most financial advice gets it wrong. People are told debt is normal, student loans are normal, car loans are normal, credit card balances are normal, financing furniture is normal, monthly payments are normal. But normal does not mean healthy. In America, debt became normalized because it makes expensive lifestyles feel affordable. It lets people consume now and emotionally process later. That is the trap. Debt sells comfort in the present by stealing freedom from the future. And the most dangerous part is that it often feels invisible until it controls everything. Before we break down the fastest way to actually eliminate debt, hit like, subscribe, and follow Andrew Finance, because this channel is about helping normal people make smarter money decisions in a system designed to keep them financially dependent. The truth is simple. Paying off debt changes everything, because debt is not just what you owe, it's what your life starts revolving around. And the moment that changes, your entire financial identity starts changing with it.
The biggest reason paying off debt feels impossible is not math, it is momentum. Most Americans do not lose to debt because they are lazy or irresponsible. They lose because debt is designed to be emotionally manageable and financially endless. Minimum payments are the perfect example. They are small enough to feel harmless and large enough to keep you stuck for years. That is not an accident, it is the business model. A person in Chicago with $11,000 in credit card debt might only owe a few $100s a month, which feels survivable. But survivable is not the same as solvable. This is how people spend 5 years paying for 1 year of mistakes. And the longer debt stays alive, the more it reshapes behavior. People stop saving because debt feels urgent. They stop investing because they feel behind. They stop taking chances because one emergency could collapse everything. This is why paying off debt creates such a dramatic shift. It is not just about removing payments, it's about removing pressure. Once debt is gone, income stops disappearing into old decisions. It starts becoming usable again. That is when breathing room returns. That is when money becomes a tool instead of a recovery system. So what is the fastest way to actually pay it off? Not the most motivational way, not the most popular way. The fastest way is brutally simple. First, stop adding new debt immediately. No strategy works if the hole is still getting deeper. Freeze the cards if needed, delete the apps, cut the emotional spending triggers. Second, build a small emergency buffer fast, even just $1,000, so surprise expenses do not push you backward. Third, list every debt by interest rate, not balance, and attack the highest interest first while paying minimums on the rest. This is the avalanche method, and mathematically it saves the most money and kills debt fastest. Fourth, increase cash flow aggressively for one season of life. Sell things, work weekends, cut lifestyle inflation, cancel what you don't use, negotiate bills, redirect every extra dollar at the target balance. This is not forever, it's financial surgery. The mistake people make is trying to pay off serious debt with casual effort. That almost never works. If you want serious freedom, it usually requires serious intensity. And once the balance starts dropping fast, something powerful happens. You stop feeling punished by money and start feeling in control of it again.
What changes after debt is gone is bigger than most people expect. The obvious change is financial. More cash stays with you, your monthly expenses drop, your savings rate rises, your credit improves, your stress falls. But the deeper shift is psychological. When debt leaves, your identity changes. You stop seeing every paycheck as temporary relief. You stop treating payday like rescue. You stop needing income just to recover from last month. That mental shift is where real wealth begins. A couple in Phoenix paying off $42,000 in consumer debt does not just free up monthly cash, they free up decision-making power. Suddenly, one of them can leave a toxic job. They can save faster, invest consistently, handle emergencies without panic, plan instead of react. That is the hidden power of debt freedom. It gives your future room to exist again. And this is what many Americans never fully realize. Debt does not only cost interest, it costs flexibility, it costs time, it costs courage. It makes people financially fragile even when their income looks respectable. That is why paying it off changes everything. Because the goal was never just becoming debt-free. The goal was becoming harder to control, harder to pressure, harder to manipulate with monthly obligations and financial fear. A person without debt can take smarter risks, negotiate harder, walk away faster, build slower and stronger. They do not need every paycheck to save them. That changes how they live. If you're in debt right now, the goal is not shame. The goal is speed, clarity, and control. You do not need a perfect plan. You need a real one. Stop feeding the cycle. Cut the leak. Increase the pressure. Eliminate the balance. Then protect the freedom you built. Because once debt is gone, your money stops serving your past and starts building your future. That's when everything changes. That's when your income starts acting like wealth instead of survival. And that's when financial peace stops being a theory and starts becoming your normal life. If this gave you a clearer view of how debt really controls people and how to break it fast, like, subscribe, and follow Andrew Finance for more real-world money psychology, smarter financial strategy, and practical wealth lessons built for normal people trying to win in a system that makes staying broke feel normal.